Okay, here we go.
Our whole sort of early relationship was really based around this idea of being able to get outside and play and be playmates and explore together and fish together and camp together. And then when we had George, our son, you know, everyone was like, well, life is going to change. You're not going to be able to do these things
Let me
anymore.
have your dozer just for a minute, okay?
We didn't take it as a challenge at all, but it was more like, well, maybe not. Like maybe we can keep doing all these things we love and keep exploring these places we love while we have a kid. And with that in mind, we planned a year-long cross-country trip that was centered around access on public lands and access to fishing spots and exploring and camping these areas that, you know, were sort of, I mean, they're sort of George's birthright. Like they're his lands. So let's go check them out and let's go fish these waters that we've always dreamed about.
There were several different moving parts, and I tell my buddies, oh, I'm gonna go, buy a trailer and fish for the next year. And like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, well, actually, I have to work full time, and I have to figure out where we're gonna stay, which rivers we can fish, whether we can get on the rivers, which beaches in the ocean we can fish, whether they have any fish, how we're gonna get access to the mangroves, how we're gonna get access to the flats in Texas, where we can go in the Olympic Peninsula, when we're back east, what rivers can we get access to there, all of this different stuff. So it was a ton of work, but it was super interesting and something that we both love and both were really excited about. And so, we put in the time and the effort to make it happen.
A rainbow trout.
Yeah.
I mean, George we're his parents. Of course, we think he's an extraordinary kid. But I think any kid, kind of benefits from being outside and getting out there. And I don't regret taking George on that trip at all. And we'd do it again in a heartbeat.
For us, the value of being able to get him outside and be outside with us and to see how much he loves being out there and loves watching birds and telling you, that's a blue heron and that's a bald eagle and all that stuff it's amazing. It's really, really cool. And, to this day, his favorite books are the ones that have animals in them and ones that, take him kind of outside where he likes to be.
Bet all the fish are underneath that shelf over there, huh?
It's so interesting because we want to trust our governments, whether it's federal or state, to protect these places that we love so much. But it's with these ideas that this land can just be sold, that once it's in the state's hand that they can sell it for revenue. And it happens a lot, especially in the Northwest. It's really scary and frightening, and I think it underlines the need for heightened awareness by the public.
To have a situation where George and Theo couldn't take a road trip themselves when they're in their late teens around Wyoming like we did for 5 weeks and fish all these different amazing rivers that are public. That would be just devastating. It's so cool the experiences we were able to have and the thought of them not being able to have them because some of this land is no longer public and you're no longer allowed to access
It'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah, it would be heartbreaking. That's a great way to put it.
Say, I love public lands.
You love public lands.
Pretty good.
Me too.